Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Food Scientist Podcast, or welcome if you're a first-time listener. Either way, we're glad you're here. I am your host, Amy Zajac, and I am here with Brian Pierce.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And Danny Sussman.
Happy holidays to those who celebrate.
Yes, there's lots of holidays going on this time of year, and we're very close to Christmas, though.
Yes, it's Christmas Eve when this drops.
So, that said, before we move on, if you like us, or if you don't like us, we don't care. Follow us on...
Why are you listening if you don't like us?
You know what? My life has been filled with people who I'm pretty sure don't like me, but, love to hate me. Which is okay.
Enough to listen? As long as they listen, I guess.
Yeah,
if you're listening, you're listening.
Right? I would think I would make some portion of Team Brian angry.
You do. Trust me, you do.
Right, and they keep listening.
And vice versa.
And I love those people that hate my opinions. I mean, I don't have to suffer.
If you're yelling at Danny via the podcast, you should call us on our listener line.
Yes.
Segue. Go for it, Amy.
On 402-YUM-FOODS.
And if you're listening to Danny and you're like, God, he is so right all the time, I need reinforcement of that and confidence. So call for that too.
Or if you live in the real world and want to say, no, Danny is not right about something, anything,
at least
you also can give that opinion. Or if you want us to eat something, give us suggestions.
And if you want to give host Amy condolences, you can do that too.
But just know that we might use your sound clip on the podcast. So we don't want any surprises. So.
And in the unlikely event you have something to say about Brian, you can do that too.
Wow.
But no one brought that up. That was a possibility that people would want to talk about you. I mean, they had to have opinions on, some of the stuff you've done, especially on video.
People don't like the way I say coupon.
No, I don't like the way you say coupon either.
You say coupon?
Coupon. Yeah, it works so perfect with the DQ app, the DQpons. It works perfectly.
We're not even talking about Dairy Queen.
Why aren't we talking about Dairy Queen? We always should be talking about Dairy Queen.
Before we move on, my mother says coupon, even though they are coupons.
And now,
either way is socially acceptable. Go ahead.
We're going to move on. So you can call us, follow us on social media,
What's the phone
Facebook,
number?
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Our phone number, once again, is 402-YUM-FOOD. Please call us, rate us, review us, whatever. We like the attention,
Amy.
Especially Danny and Brian like the attention.
What are we talking about on this week's podcast?
This week we've got food experiences and food news per usual. But the food news is going to get a little expanded this week.
Yes.
We're going to talk about dipped pretzels and Kit Kat chunky bars.
This is something we don't have in the United States. I'm excited.
Well, we
for
have
that.
Kit Kat chunky, but we don't have the flavors.
Not these flavors.
Not these flavors.
So fun stuff.
To kick us off, Brian, I know you had some sort of experience this week.
Yes. Well, okay. So I was at work, and I noticed...
You work?
I know, I do.
Wait, this isn't your only source of income?
No, this podcast, believe it or not, I could, but I want to fill my days.
You don't want to live on sugar alone?
Yeah.
He
does.
I
do.
Yeah, I know.
His endocrinologist says otherwise.
I was walking by the little area that has treats, and I saw a bag of marshmallows, and I was like, who thought it was a good idea to have marshmallows as a treat, as a snack?
Were they full-size marshmallows?
It was mini marshmallows, but then I see next to it little Keurig, little K-cups for hot chocolate. So I was like, that
so
works.
there's an angel among you.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I buy that. I've never had the hot chocolate, packs like that. So I thought, I'll try one of those.
You've never had the Keurig.
The Keurig, yeah. So I want to try that.
Hot chocolate from a packet?
No. The packets, yes, but the...
Have you ever had hot chocolate not from a packet?
We've had hot chocolate from a packet on the podcast. It was Oreo flavored.
Right. Have you ever had hot chocolate not from a packet?
Flavored how?
No, just like chocolate flavored.
Like you take hot milk and you put chocolate syrup
on that. Yeah, like Hershey syrup or something.
You go to the fancy coffee shop, you hand them $8 and they give you a hot chocolate like I did in Chicago.
I have repressed that memory of you spending $8
That's because it didn't even happen to you, Brian. He didn't make you spend $8.
I know, but still it hurt me hearing that he spent $8 on a regular hot chocolate.
It wasn't a regular hot chocolate. It was a delicious hot chocolate.
Anyway, Brian, how was your hot chocolate?
So you had the powdered version.
Well, I'm guessing that's what's in the K-cups. So I'm having that. I'm enjoying it. I put some marshmallows in there, but there also were Oreos, and I did something I've never done before. I was dipping Oreos in hot chocolate.
You've never done that?
I know, right?
What is wrong with you?
Right, exactly. That's why I warned you ahead of time. You might be shocked.
We had the Oreo hot chocolate.
And now you're going to tell us it wasn't that good.
No, it was very good.
Okay. Thank you.
Here's the shocking thing, an additional shocking thing.
You didn't go back for seconds.
Oh, no, I absolutely did.
Okay.
He had all the hot chocolate and all the Oreos.
I was wondering, how many packets of hot chocolate do you put per cup?
No, this was the K-Cups. It was only one.
Oh, so
if I only do one.
You couldn't load it up and make it super dense.
Oh, no, and this, it was the perfect amount, so it did work out well. But we also had snack cakes. And we had nutty bars. I thought, ooh, I'm going to put a little garnish in my hot chocolate and put a nutty bar in there. And, like, dip it and try eating it.
Did that
work?
work?
Let it melt?
It did nothing.
It didn't
Did the
melt?
nutty bar at least absorb some
Was
hot chocolate?
Was the hot chocolate hot?
Oh, yes, but the chocolate coating made it like it didn't permeate it. So, like, sure, where I had bit off, like, that got a little soft, but it didn't really change or enhance the flavor at all. So, live and learn, I guess.
So, speaking of living and learning, do you experiment? I do this, so we can talk about my own shames in this, but when you have hot chocolate from a packet, do you experiment with other mediums?
Such as,
like, instead of using, for a beginner, they might, instead of using hot water, use like a warm milk.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the packet says either, to
right,
do
or, right. I have been known to use coffee instead of water.
See, now my work used to have packets of hot chocolate.
What a way to ruin hot chocolate.
I would put coffee with them.
What I do is I put coffee creamer in hot chocolate. So no coffee flavor, but the flavors you could, like, whatever they are.
So like the French vanilla.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that could be good too, yeah.
So, yeah, because that's one of the best ways to save cheap coffee, like office coffee.
Just don't drink coffee, folks. It's no good.
Amy.
That was like, for a long time, until I realized, like, just what I was consuming, just like quantities of sugar. I was like, why am I like crashing so hard? On cruise ships, right? I cruise a lot. They would have out just, unlimited packets of hot chocolate. And that's by the coffee machines where, because that's the source of hot water, because they have all different teas too. But like for a while, that was my drink, because I would just like make one of those. But I would use, it was a small cup, and I would use a lot of the powder. I've cut back on that, because you're like, wow, that's actually a lot of sugar. Yeah,
after I had my
5
Oreos dipped in the hot chocolate and the snack cakes, I was like, ooh, I don't need more hot chocolate right now.
Yeah.
But you didn't say, ooh, I don't need more Oreos. You had more.
Well, that's Oreos, not hot chocolate.
Yeah.
But one of the things the Minnesota casinos have that we don't see all over is the self-service beverage stations. And there's one of the casinos by us now has a hot chocolate powder dispenser. And then I've done that now too. And that was weird.
You pointed that out to me like a few weeks ago, and I didn't care for it. Like, I needed a lot more chocolate. Like, I needed to hit that pump seven more times.
They distribute their sugar and Sweet and Low and Splenda and all of those. It's a little machine, and you push the button, and it says 1 button press equals 1 packet. And I think that the hot chocolate section of that is like 1 sugar packet of hot chocolate.
Yeah, it was not a lot. I tasted like I was just drinking hot water.
But I didn't have that, but I hit the button like 6 times. I had like a good half an inch of the hot chocolate mix. And then I added their terrible coffee, but you hardly tasted it, but it gave a nice depth to my sludge.
Yeah, a little more of a thing.
Well, my food experience, going on to my food experience, which is very different.
Oh, you're the host, of course it is. We were bonding over, like, we didn't even get into, like, you put hot chocolate powder on ice cream, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's lots of stuff you could do with that stuff.
It doesn't help with the K-cup thing that Brian did. Anyway, you're dunking Oreos in it.
No, he's just saying there are different things you can do with
different things.
Yes.
Our listeners are listening for education in many areas. So they got dipping and some information from some packs.
Many areas, it is perfect hot chocolate weather.
It is. What do you think about the marshmallows? Should we get the marshmallows separate or marshmallows in the pack or neither?
I don't like marshmallows.
I don't need them. Now, I did. For this, I did put them in there. They melted. That was nice. That was fine. I don't need them.
No.
Have you seen...
I'd rather use like the Lucky Charms type marshmallows in them.
Well, with the little packets that come with it, that's kind of what they are, and they're really hard, which really doesn't do a lot for me either. It's just like you have little chunks in your hot chocolate.
You can buy cereal marshmallows on their own. You don't have to buy the cereal with them.
And those are gross. They're not really marshmallows.
Yeah, they're not. So what's your preference, Danny?
My preference is real marshmallows. That was my $8.
Mini or large?
It matters less. I would say this homemade marshmallows are really good, or a house-made one. Those are super good. The other thing that I have seen, there's a bakery in New York that does a fancy hot chocolate that has...
Is it $8 or $12?
Oh, it's probably a lot.
Is there alcohol in it?
No, but what it does is they have this little cup that it's a little chocolate cup that they drop in to the hot chocolate, and then the cup melts, and there's like a marshmallow inside of it that opens up like a flower. I will share that video with the group.
Yeah, put it on Facebook group.
Now, I'm going to be very hosty here.
Yeah.
And say, controversial opinion, not a big fan of whipped cream on my hot cocoa.
Oh, I was going to ask that too, because there's something that I used to get in college. They called it Mexican hot chocolate, which was cinnamon in there and whipped cream on top, and it was delightful. They put a little nutmeg on it too.
Sometimes put a little cayenne in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Whipped cream just detracts from the cocoa.
No.
It dilutes it.
If we learned anything from our podcast a couple weeks ago, it should be that Brian and I can consume ungodly amounts of whipped cream, hot chocolate.
I like whipped cream, just not on my hot chocolate.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. I won't give it back if it's got it on there. But
side note, with those whipped cream videos, I had many people ask me what was wrong with me, which I don't have an answer, to be honest. So find those videos. We put one on YouTube, one on Facebook and Instagram. So if you want to see me eating way too much whipped cream,
I think
and Danny feeding me whipped cream.
I didn't feed it to you.
And Amy flinching from Brian trying to get whipped cream on her.
Because someone sent me a screenshot. Like, he's your mama bird.
Oh, yeah, I did search the end there, didn't I?
Yeah.
The thing that I got comments on was the fact that I put the can of whipped cream on the table, and you just instinctively ripped the lid off and shoved that thing down your throat.
Yeah, notice
the whole can.
Instinctively.
Yes,
the whole can.
It disappeared. I didn't get to taste any.
Yeah, I put the full can in my mouth, got the whipped cream, took the empty can out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's gone.
I'm going to move on now because you're just reading your phone, Danny.
I'm trying to find that picture of the...
It doesn't help with the listeners.
Oh, hey, Amy, you had a food experience that you wanted to share.
I did.
And that's kind of holiday related, too.
I'm sorry we're out of time. Thanks for listening.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.
We're the food scientists. Thank you. Good night.
I will edit you out. No worries.
We've always been worried that Amy's going to make this a solo podcast. It's just going to be her talking.
Well, why? So she just means
this time of year.
She just enjoys our company, brings us to the studio to waste our time just to hang out with us.
At this time of year, a lot of normal snacks and candies and whatever do holiday-themed and shaped things.
Or
Ho-ho-hos.
Ho-ho-hos.
Which I haven't seen this year.
I haven't seen them either.
Hershey Kisses in peanut butter cups and whatever, wrapped in different colored foils.
A lot of gingerbread flavored, a lot of sugar cookie
and not just flavors, but just the colors.
Yeah.
They do a lot of reds and greens and golds, whether it's with the wrapper or with the food itself.
You can get a bag of M&M's. It's just the red and green.
So Reese's.
I was very surprised to see Goldfish cheddar crackers have a red and green variety. And it's not even like they seasoned them different. It's not like cayenne and rosemary or anything.
And the green.
It looks like, when you pour them out, it kind of looks like cat food.
Yeah, it definitely got like a little like meow, meow, meow.
They're not vibrant colors, which also might be scarier too for a cracker.
You know what? When you're trying to color stuff green and red, you have to look at the array of colors available, and most of them are not appetizing.
No, I mean, this looks like Meow Mix.
It's like a drab olive green and a drab burgundy.
It's like a wine, a burgundy.
Yeah, I told you these were spinach.
Yeah.
You would believe
it.
Or kale.
Yeah. I mean, the flavor seems just a bit off. Maybe that's just my mind.
Off. No, I thought it was just a bit off too.
They taste like goldfish.
They taste like unsalted goldfish or something.
They don't taste as much as sugar, as cheddar. Sugar on the brain.
Look at the mouth
on
this red one.
Oh, the mouths are more defined than these.
This guy's got
they're really smiling. They're like, happy holidays, everyone.
He's got a super...
This one has no mouth.
Oh, this one has no mouth either.
Yeah, this one just has a super defined mouth, and he's red, and he looks a little like, malicious.
So, my God, look at this one. I was going to say, though, so goldfish crackers, I like you. It says you don't need to go red and green.
But we would be remiss if we did not say that, I don't know when you're listening to this, but Wednesday, clearance sales start.
Yeah, you can get the holiday peeps.
This mouse goes to the other side.
Yes.
So make sure you run out, find those bargains. Let us know if there are any places we need to check out.
I'll finish this bag. Not in one sitting, but I'll finish this bag. It's fine. Crackers.
You can lie to people and tell them that they're spinach and beet, and then they won't touch them.
But they don't taste like that.
No, but people won't touch them if
I would believe
that.
I just ate one, and my mind could play that trick on me.
Yeah.
Where I could
tell them it's spinach and beet,
like
and then see who believes you.
I would. They're not great.
So, okay. Moving on to food news.
Yeah.
Well, sort of news.
Well, because it's a holiday week here for a lot of people who do celebrate.
Much more inclusive this time.
Yeah. Danny, Hanukkah came and went, and you had a chance to mention that, and you didn't. So
you know what? I don't. We can all live our lives.
The solstice has also come and went.
Right.
Yeah.
Days are getting longer here in North America.
Finally. But more than that hour of sunlight.
Down in the southern
vampire
hemisphere.
in me loves all the dark.
Down in the southern hemisphere, their days are getting longer.
When it's like 5 o'clock and dark, I start smiling.
Oh.
But we have a lot of listeners in Australia. And so for them, sorry, winter's coming. For us.
Are you quoting some famous show there, Danny?
No.
Winter is coming.
No, he doesn't know pop culture.
I don't know anything.
But, Amy, you mentioned something about Kentucky Fried Chicken last week. They have a Yule log that smells like chicken that you can buy.
And it's sold out in a day.
Oh, yeah, because it sold out during the podcast when we were recording
There were 7 of them available.
No, there were a lot more.
Well, I want to talk about some traditions around the world that different people
Fried chicken Yule logs are a tradition?
No, but did you know in Japan, Kentucky Fried Chicken, that is a popular place to go. Like, they changed it to Christmas Fried Chicken that day.
Oh, is it red and green?
I don't think so. But it's popular for people to go there. They can go to Kentucky Fried Chicken or KFC, whatever they call it, on that day and get cake and wine and fried chicken. And that's like how they celebrate.
We should do that here.
Is that like when White Castle goes formal for Valentine's Day?
Oh, that's so much fun.
I mean, you didn't know that? White Castle offers...
We'll have to have a Valentine's date.
Oh, gosh.
You don't like White Castle. You don't know what
we
love
talked about this last week. No, White Castle.
But we have to have a Valentine's date since you've never experienced that.
Okay, we could maybe that'll be our next outing.
They have table service.
He doesn't want to go with just me.
No. I'm sorry. No. You're not invited, everyone else. Sorry.
Well, he and I already had plans. It was like IHOP.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
She's not over that yet. I don't think.
No.
But here's
it's
one.
Been a week. It's been a week.
It has.
So I think you probably know this one. In Israel, Danny, for Hanukkah.
Oh, wait a general.
No, for Hanukkah. For Hanukkah. What's a traditional Hanukkah food that you would think of?
Latkes.
Yes, that is the big thing there.
Sufganiyot, a.k.a. donuts.
Matzo ball soup?
Yes, that's...
Yeah, they're jelly donuts. Yeah, I know, they're delicious.
I know, I would not think those things go together.
Really?
But I guess...
Do you know the story of Hanukkah? It's all about oil lasting 8 nights.
I do know the story of
jelly
Hanukkah.
Donuts?
Yes, they're fried.
That works for me.
They're fried in the oil product.
But those jelly donuts do not last for...
Sufganiyot, yeah, if you...
That 8-day donut, that would be a miracle.
It would be a miracle if it lasts that long around any of us.
No, we kept eating it and it just never...
Bogarts makes sufganiyot. They're basically like a jelly donut, but a little bit more dense. There's a slight difference.
All right.
Punchki, the Polish jelly donut, which is so good.
Now, in Germany, I was actually thinking about this week.
Christmas sausage?
Christmas goose. They still...
Oh, right.
We don't really have goose here.
I did it once with my family.
We do have goose, but not like you would think.
It's not a lot. I mean, you hear about it in a Christmas, not Christmas story, a Christmas Carol.
You know where you hear about goose a lot more, actually?
Christmas Story as well, actually.
Yeah.
Is,
in ye olden days?
Where I grew up in New York and other places where there's an overpopulation of Canadian geese.
Oh, those aren't as good.
But they round them up. And they
don't eat Canada geese.
And they eliminate some of them from the population, and rather than let them go to waste, they do feed them to
there's a reason I know this,
shelters
guys. There's a reason why I know this. The Canada geese does not taste as good as your traditional Christmas.
How do you know that?
Because I've had Canada geese.
Well, my whole point was that they just feed them to the homeless.
Well, that's good, but Yeah.
But here in Germany, at least, I don't know what other people do.
Get a different kind of goose.
They stuff them with apples, chestnuts, onions, prunes, and then serve it with red cabbage, dumplings, gravy, and sauerkraut.
Actually, I can see that because goose is fattier, gamier. I don't know what you want to call it than like a turkey or a chicken.
Yep, definitely.
So having like some of the fruitier influences in there could really balance it. Brian's nodding like, yeah, whatever, moving on.
I don't want to spend too much time on this list here, but Italy, I'm probably not going to say this correctly. Panettone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, panettone.
Panettone.
Yeah, which seems delightful. Yeah, it is like a big cake.
Yeah, you get them in a big box. They said they have them at Cassetta. Do you want one?
But also,
I'll bring it to you.
Sure, let's go.
Christmas.
Yeah. They also have salted cod and calamari, so maybe I won't be going
salted
to
cod is a big thing. Not just in Italy, but in other places of the world. It does. Well, you have to like fish.
So the news is,
but it doesn't. It's not.
So what makes this segment news is that it's news to you.
Well, no, it's
Amy and I. Amy and I have been like nailing every one of these.
This isn't news. This is experiences. So this is food experiences around the world, how they celebrate the holidays. Costa Rica, I like this one. Tamales.
I thought you were saying rice and beans.
Oh, tamales are.
Because here's a funny story. My mom went to Costa Rica and went to like an eco resort, and she usually has like a pretty curious palate, but her one complaint was that they served rice and beans at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'm like, sounds like Costa Rica.
I have spent time in Costa Rica, and I can confirm that.
I could have rice with every meal.
Like every meal, black beans and rice, and I was so tired of black beans by the time I left. Yeah. England, I think we know this one, Christmas pudding, which is not pudding.
No, but it's kind of cakey. I've had cakey pudding. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very much like raisins and plums or whatever.
Dried fruit.
But you do set it on fire. I know that much.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you use a hot buttered rum that...
of course, the only Christmas pudding I've had is homemade, so maybe it was a good one.
I have relatives from England, and I remember them bringing to us, and the highlight of it for me was setting that sucker on fire.
You love your fire.
I do.
Wow.
You did not know. I'm like...
I learned that last week when you burned Amy's house down, the studio down.
And she fixed the...
We never did fix that smoke alarm.
Still hanging.
All right, we do need to go to France, though, quickly before Christmas, because they celebrate with...
the Yule log.
With Bûche de Noël.
Yeah.
Now, I saw Trader Joe's also has an ice cream flavored like this. As I haven't checked.
An ice cream log? Or just an ice cream flavor?
It's ice cream flavored with Bûche de Noël.
There's a... Patrick's French Bakery here makes a beautiful one.
It sounds good.
Byerly's also has some.
For people that don't know what it is, it's like a sponge cake with chocolate buttercream.
Yeah, it's like a cake roll.
Yeah, it's like a big Swiss cake roll.
Yeah.
It's
and
decorated
then with
to look like a tree
chocolate
branch.
frosting made to look like a branch.
And this is not talked about a lot.
What's that?
But if you set that sucker on fire, it's a Yule log.
Goodness gracious.
It smells like KFC.
And then you film it and you play it on loop on your TV.
Mexico, we already kind of said this, but they have bacalao, which is salted cod. Very common, very traditional. Sweden has saffron buns, which I did read a couple of articles, and that's like, there are even places in Sweden where the oldest daughter will dress up in white and wear candles on her head and serve their parents this in bed.
You know what's weird about that? If it's the oldest daughter? But of the children.
Yeah, of the children. Yeah.
Not like the oldest woman in the family.
No.
Like
where they're
kids.
like, good news, bad. They're like Aunt Gracie died, so we need to measure your head because we got to make you a candle hat. It's not like that.
In Philippines, roast pig, which I don't think we have a lot here either.
No.
I like
it is very common. Yeah,
I like pig
very traditional. And this is going to make this list, maybe make me question its validity and how common these things are, because for the United States it says the common thing to eat on Christmas is fruitcake, which I don't know anyone who actually likes fruitcake.
I know some people that like fruitcake, but that's only you put a lot of booze in your cake.
You drink a lot of booze first. I don't know.
So
I have had fruitcake I like, but it's rare.
It's like jujubes or Skittles in it.
My mom laughed the first time I had fruitcake, and I said, this cake would be good if it didn't have all the dried fruit.
Yeah.
I was a little
kid.
Cake,
not fruitcake, just cake.
So what are your traditional meals?
Well, for my family having a Scandinavian background, we usually will have turkey, but we also will have lefse, which I know I talked about last year, which is a potato bread.
It's a potato tortilla.
Basically.
If you ever want to make someone who makes lefse upset, call it a potato tortilla.
I mean, that's a good way to describe it. That's not what it is, but it's a good way to describe it.
But it is what it is.
But, when it's made right, it is delicious. So I love that. But yeah, a lot of the Scandinavian cookies and whatnot, but otherwise it's a lot of...
Do you have like a Christmas Eve tradition?
Well, usually it's... Okay, growing up, Christmas was spread out 4 days. It was on the 22nd. That night, Santa Claus would come.
On the 22nd?
Yeah, the 23rd. It was with my immediate family.
Who do you have to pay to get Santa to show up 3 days early?
Well, he's busy. He has all those houses to get to. He needs to spread it out. Then Christmas Eve was with my dad's side of the family, and Christmas Day was with my mom. So we spread things out quite a bit.
Amy?
Food-wise, we always had some kind of roast, but it wasn't always the same thing. But something you could make gravy with. So whether it be roast beef, roast pork, a turkey.
So that's the general roast beast.
Right.
Turkey or ham.
And we had goose once.
Some creature. Was it Canadian?
No, that was not Canada geese. It's not a Canadian goose. It's Canada. Anyway. Anyway. We always have the cut-out sugar cookies that you decorate, and we decorate them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On the Polish side of the family, we also had kruszyki, which is also known as angel wings, and they're little puff fried dough that, despite the ingredients in it, is light and airy, and just a dusting of powdered sugar on them.
Mm-hmm.
As for, we never did this, we didn't have like a Christmas Eve, Christmas Day tradition, because we would rotate amongst the family who had which holiday. So sometimes, and then when my... not to be a downer, but one side of my family died rather young. So before they died, sometimes they were Christmas Eve, sometimes they were Christmas Day, and vice versa.
And then things got simpler.
Yes, Danny, they got simpler. But
don't look at me that way. Sometimes there's a blessing. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Sometimes. So we didn't always have a Christmas Eve lasagna, though I tried to make that a thing, a Christmas Eve lasagna, just so you know.
Yeah, that's different. I should say, too, when my immediate family, we still get together on the 22nd, we would go out for pizza.
Does Santa still show up?
Well, I haven't had a niece, so, it still does, even though, doesn't need to, but my mom is like, nope, Santa's still coming. But we would go out for pizza.
Are you saying when you reach a certain age, Santa doesn't visit you, Brian?
Yeah, because you get naughtier.
Wow.
Yeah, right? You grow up and, He's like, nope, crossing you off the list.
So you're a naughty boy.
Well, does Santa come for you?
I'm not answering that, especially phrased that way. My family, thanks for asking.
Well, because you celebrate, right?
We do. We go out for Chinese food every year.
I love that idea, though. I love Chinese food.
You know what's really weird? There's a Chinese restaurant near me. I've switched Chinese restaurants.
It's weird that there's a Chinese restaurant.
No. What's weird is there's one, and the place is enormous, and there's hardly ever anybody there. Like, most of the business is takeout. And then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it's packed. Like, their whole entryway, like, you go in there, there's like an hour wait for a table. So I've switched away from that one to one that's in like a neighborhood that has less of my people around. So you can get seated more quickly. I did not know this until this year, but pizza is a tradition for a lot of people on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people that want to keep it simpler.
Because if they're prepping for Christmas Day, with big family stuff on Christmas Day.
I mean, this is, we're dropping this on Christmas Eve morning, and later today I'm meeting some friends, and we're gathering for pizza. Although it took me a while to find a pizza place that would actually be open to, like, sit down and have pizza. But found one.
And just side note, because this is dropping Christmas Eve, thank you to everyone who is pausing 24 hours of A Christmas Story to listen to us.
Or the Yule log. Because you have to pause the Yule log to listen to us.
Right, or is on a road trip and going to visit family, and you're like, gosh, I could be listening to Bruce Springsteen. Wish Clarence gets a new saxophone for the millionth time. And you're not.
No.
And to those of you who are surrounded by relatives that you can't stand and you're listening to us to drown them out, thank you. Shout out.
It's totally cool to be just like huddled in the corner with your earbuds in and talking to nobody. Like, I feel you, I've been there. And if I haven't been there, I've wanted to be there.
Okay, moving on. So, those are traditions and non-traditions. But we've noticed something else start happening around the holidays. These are things that people could do on their own year-round, but the brands start coming out with chocolate-dipped or dipped things like pretzels and potato chips and what have you.
Because they fancy.
Because we noticed the chocolate-dipped potato chips around Thanksgiving.
I don't understand why that's a holiday thing. I like them, so I don't question it, but why is it a holiday?
Why is it a holiday thing?
The good news is they go on clearance with all the other holiday things.
I found Reese's dipped pretzels. The pretzels are from Snyder's of Hanover as well. So you got two brands going on here.
Well, Reese's has been sleeping with everybody lately. I mean, you can't throw a stick and find a brand that doesn't have a Reese's.
Amy called these right off the bat. She said these are going to be a Oreo.
And she was right.
I disagree.
I will say this. It was more peanut buttery than I expected.
I'll say this. I liked them, but they weren't Reese's.
I got the Reese's vibe from them. For a coating on a pretzel, it was as Reese's as it was going to get.
I will say, I do love coated pretzels.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, they are more a staple of the bulk foods aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's the chocolate-covered pretzel, the peanut butter-covered pretzel, and...
There's the white yogurt.
Yeah, so the white yogurt one. So I once was at a mall where they had, basically local chefs competing, like Iron Chef. Mm-hmm. Probably not unlike the event you attended.
Oh, yeah, recently. A month or so ago, yeah.
Yeah. And so they had they usually...
Iron Fork?
Yes.
Yeah, this wasn't Iron Fork.
I know, I'm sorry. I was just jogging my memory. Go on.
It was similar, but then they have a featured ingredient that you have to put into your dishes.
Mm-hmm.
I went, and they made yogurt pretzels the featured ingredient.
Really?
And they made
that doesn't sound good.
No, but so they made the chefs come up with recipes that featured yogurt pretzels, which is just cruel.
So garnishing things with them, or putting things around them, sometimes you get the dip pretzels that have M&Ms on them or whatnot.
The chefs took different approaches. They took the yogurt pretzels and put them into a food processor and ground them into a powder, so you could use it as more of a breading or a garnish, or something that you. They chop them to add to a salad. Yeah. Because it was very peculiar. But evil, right? Because you're prepared for I could figure out stuff to do with salmon.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to make the yogurt pretzels.
You can't bake it a little bit or do something.
You're not going to make the yogurt pretzel the star of the show.
Right.
You've got to find various ways to make the yogurt pretzel the supporting act. Which is tougher.
Yeah.
So you like yogurt-covered pretzels?
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't? Not at all?
No, the peanut butter ones. The regular, just weird beige peanut butter pretzels, that's a guilty pleasure.
Do you like the peanut butter-filled pretzels? The pillows?
Yeah, but you don't find, you can't walk through the bulk food section and be I'm just going to see if these are fresh and grab a couple of those.
That's
but
true.
The peanut butter pretzels, you sure as heck can. Oh, I guess I'm not going to buy any.
And there's a big difference between the peanut butter filled and peanut butter coated. That's a whole different peanut butter.
I don't love the peanut butter filled. I don't hate them, but I don't love them.
It's not the right kind of peanut butter.
Yeah, something's off.
They could be good. Yeah, it's not always the right kind of pretzel either.
I like the coated better.
Yeah, and there's...
Whether it's chocolate coated, peanut butter... Mm-hmm. Well, I don't love the yogurt coated.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't love the peanut butter coated ones because it's not really peanut butter. It's... I don't know what that stuff is, but I do love it.
Yeah.
It's like White Castle.
It's like a peanut butter flavoring more than anything. Now, with these Reese's ones here, usually the Reese's name on something means it's not going to have a peanut butter taste. It's going to be peanut butter-esque. I did think these tasted like it, though.
Yeah, they're pretty peanut buttery.
Yeah.
I will say it's not quite peanut butter cup because the chocolate ratio's off.
Right, and I don't think with the coating you can get that, really, to be honest. No. But I like these a lot.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Well, the bag describes them as bite-sized pretzels dipped in peanut butter candy and drizzled with milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're a little bigger than bite-sized.
It's almost like a peanut butter fudge that they melted down.
Yeah, kind of.
It's fine to me. It's just not Reese's. They just put their name on it to tweak sales.
Yeah, because I would be more inclined to buy this than peanut butter.
Snyder's.
Yeah, exactly. So, bravo to them because that
I would save some money and just get them out of the bulk bin, though.
I could see that too. I feel like it won't catch my eye though.
Oh no!
So I can see why they did it.
Oh yeah! Oh, absolutely! Sly move by the consumer packaged goods people.
The flavor kind of reminds me of Reese's Puffs.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I knew something was a little bit off.
That's a sugar cereal,
familiar.
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's why I can't relate.
I'm sorry. You know, you're an adult now. You can eat sugar cereal.
But you know what? It's just not something I do.
But you have that freedom. You
have that power.
Yeah, but I've been conditioned to not.
I mean, remember when we took...
I'm broken.
Remember when we took the...
Nutter Butter Minis?
Yes, and the grab-and-go cups of Oreos and made cereal out of those. I think that healed your brokenness.
Is that how you have your cereal all the time now, Brian? You don't have cereal, you have the little Go Cups?
Twice.
Did you have an audience the second time? Or were you just alone? Just craving it?
I was maybe alone at home in my kitchen.
I thought you were going to stay in bed. I was really glad. In bed with the TV on, binging The Great British Bake Off.
Probably Buffy again.
I was going to say Buffy, but I went for something else. Food related. Okay, so moving on. They're a bit of a Oreo, but they were really good.
I liked them. I thought that they were, quality.
Now we had Kit Kat Chunkies from Europe.
This segment, we need to have this segment be Americans are missing out because we keep having snacks.
We tried two flavors that are not available here. Peanut butter. Weirdly, why wouldn't that be available here?
Well, this goes back to the great Kit Kat divide. For those who are new to the podcast.
No pun intended with the breakable Kit Kats that divide.
For those who are new to the podcast, and apparently host Amy, here's a little refresher. The Kit Kat brand in the United States belongs to Hershey.
I know.
So all of our Kit Kats are Hershey's.
I know.
In the rest of the world, Kit Kat is Nestle.
Yep.
And so they don't cross. They share things. Like there is a Kit Kat Chunky in the U.S., but it's Hershey. And so that's why we can't get it here. Because Hershey doesn't love us the way that Nestle loves the rest of the world.
But here's the thing. Peanut butter is not nearly as common in other parts of the world. And they made a good peanut butter Kit Kat.
Yeah, peanut butter is very much a U.S. thing.
So we have Kit Kat
So that
Chunkies.
makes it sound foreign and exotic to the international crowd.
Maybe. That could be.
So we had Kit Kat Chunky bars in two flavors. We had peanut butter and salted caramel fudge. These are from Europe, but they're available worldwide.
You can find them on Amazon, not too outrageous of a price.
You might even be able to find these in Canada or Mexico.
Yeah, so Kit Kat Chunky, search for those.
When I did some searching, right, like these are available in the Philippines, so they're available in Asia. They're available.
Yeah.
These are available all over the world, just not in Los Estados Unidos.
I like these.
Los Estados Unidos.
I liked the salted caramel fudge. The peanut butter.
So good.
So good.
Oh.
So much better than just the regular old chunky Kit Kats we have here in the U.S.
Yeah, remember, this is up there with it. Didn't quite, but remember we had the hot fudge sundae chunkies from Australia with the caramel. Those were amazing. I think that's still, the top.
No, peanut butter for me is the top now.
But these, you love peanut butter.
I do.
Let's just give Brian the floor.
Yeah, if you like peanut butter Twix, if that is those are underrated.
Hold on, can you redo that? But if you like
peanut butter Twix, you might be a Brian.
Right.
No, but if that is something that you feel strongly about, that peanut butter Twix need to be more of a thing, more people need to be enjoying them, you need to try these peanut butter chunky Kit Kats. Kit Kats are a candy bar that I am fine with. I'm not going to go out of my way to get one normally, but these are so amazing. Both of them even, the salted caramel and the peanut butter.
And so what makes them amazing and what makes them different from what we get is that there's 3 layers of cookie, and then on top of that is a thick layer of the flavor.
Yes. So when you think of a Kit Kat, you normally won't even register in your brain, there's a layer of chocolate in those. You might know that there is, but you're not probably going to think, it's wafer chocolate.
Right.
This, the peanut butter is
right, because this goes...
there's a lot.
Right, because normally, you say it's wafer chocolate, wafer, dip the whole thing in chocolate, call it done. This is wafer chocolate, wafer... Chocolate, wafer, giant layer of peanut butter, giant layer of caramel. dip the whole thing in chocolate and call it amazing.
Yeah, they're both good. They're both really what they say they are. I lean towards the peanut butter as well myself, which is surprising because normally I'm a huge caramel fiend. But I think I've been coming over to Brian's side of things here with really liking peanut butter.
Yeah.
And we will have in coming weeks, there's also in these, because these are chunkies. These things are probably about an inch tall and an inch wide. They're the thick, chunky bars. And more the size of a regular Kit Kat, even the size of a snack Kit Kat. They've just introduced through Europe Kit Kat Senses, which takes this concept and brings them down to the size of a regular Kit Kat. And we're going to be featuring those.
Is it supposed to impact all 5 senses?
I don't know. I mean,
we'll find out. We haven't had them
technically, it probably could, because you touch it, you can smell it, you can taste it, you can see it.
You can hear it when you eat it, when you bite it.
Yeah, right. It goes crunch. But I mean, what food doesn't impact all 5 senses if you play your cards right?
Water.
Popcorn. Popcorn is all over all 5. Cheetos are like a total mess of 5 senses.
You know, you mentioned popcorn. I just want to give a very quick shout out to Pop-Tarts, because this previous week they put the kibosh on someone's idea to have a ketchup Pop-Tart. Just imagine that for a second. It sounds awful in every way. And Pop-Tart was like, no, this is a horrible idea, people.
But could you frost it with mustard frosting?
You could.
No.
Also awful.
No. Ketchup. Okay. This is not at all on the topic.
Ketchup's a little sweet, guys.
Sorry, it just reminded me of
this is not at all on the topic of Kit Kats.
It goes from
but
popcorn to Pop-Tarts to ketchup.
Amy, I need to get this out. It's hurting my insides.
The dam is bursting.
Yes.
So should I keep interrupting you?
Why?
This is what's like when Amy tries to start the podcast and you keep interrupting.
Why? Have the listeners ever heard that?
They might.
Maybe.
Danny doesn't listen to the podcast. He doesn't know.
I do. I'm hearing it live right now. So, who decided to mix ketchup and mustard in the first place? And what kind of sadist were they?
Well, I mean, it wasn't me, I can tell you that.
I know.
What do you mean, mix it in what way? They're in separate containers.
No, but like, I'm going to put both ketchup and mustard on this hamburger.
Yeah, that's good.
No. I'm going to put ketchup and mustard on this hot dog. No. I'm going to put ketchup and mustard on anything. No.
I used to just do ketchup, but now I like ketchup and mustard on my hot dogs.
You know what? You remember when Brian took the 2 cans of whipped cream? I want to see you do that with ketchup and mustard.
Just straight up put them both in your mouth?
Yeah.
I want to see that too. That's our next video next week.
You're not going to see it right now. I'm telling you that
next week. Next week we'll do it.
Because I don't have the good kind of squeeze bottles for that.
We can get that.
I want quality, guys.
Well,
I'll do it if you do it.
I will not do that. And that's the first time I've said that in this podcast.
You will. You had durian candy. Come on. And you've had how much wasabi and flaming hot things?
So that tells you about how nasty ketchup and mustard are.
I would do anything for this podcast.
Guys, get on Brian's case.
I won't do that. No.
You've eaten ketchup-flavored chips.
Yes, and that's enough.
And mustard-flavored chips.
Yes, and that's enough.
And mayo-flavored chips.
Mm-hmm. So I'm done. My work here is done.
Why not just have the real thing?
No.
2 out of 3.
Would you mix the ketchup and mustard and mayo? Ketchup, mustard, and mayo all at once.
You took the words
and then
right
add relish to it. Add some sweet relish to it.
How many Meatloaf songs do we know?
I don't know. I think it's running dry.
On a hot summer night.
You're not going to call it Paradise by the Dashboard Plate?
Yeah, that's the easy one.
Because you don't consider it paradise.
Yeah.
You know what? Like a bat out of hell. Let's just end this podcast right now.
Thanks for listening. For those who celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. For those who celebrate other holidays, enjoy those holidays. And
for those who don't celebrate anything, hey,
enjoy the silence.
Come and join me for pizza today and Chinese tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great week, everyone.